Stan Gibilisco here. It is the 30th of December 2017. Tonight promises to be the coldest night here in the black holes of Dakota Territory, United States of abominable weather. The coldest night so far this season, 15 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. I don't know what that translates to into Celsius, but it's pretty doggone cold. Thank goodness I have a nice warm house, courtesy of a gas furnace and the gas stove that you see behind me. But on days and nights like this, prior to New Year's, not really feeling like going out and doing much, I get to reminiscing about times gone by. And I was thinking all the way back to 1980, 1981, when I lived in Cocoa Beach, Florida in 1980, but that fall I was offered a job back in Miami and moved back there. And I discovered in Coral Gables, Florida, a place called the Venetian Pool. In the YouTube search box, just simply type the words, and I'll write them in the description of this video. Venetian Pool Coral Gables. And you'll get a bunch of videos that show that pool as it is today. And it looks a lot now like it did all the way back in 1980, except for the waterfall that comes off the rocks on the top. Back then, there was no waterfall. People used to actually dive off of those rocks. They were pretty close to, 6-7 meters above the water, maybe about 20 feet high, but the water was only about 6 feet deep. I guess that was deemed too shallow, and rightly so, to safely dive, head first in particular, off of. But I used to sit up top there and sunbathe, and occasionally people would dive from from those rocks. But there are a whole bunch of videos of the place, and it's really quite a neat place. Coral Gables being a sort of suburb of Miami, and if you ever get a chance to visit Coral Gables, besides the great restaurants they have there and the predominance of Spanish as probably the most commonly spoken language there now. Look for the Venetian Pool. It's on DeSoto Boulevard, and if you're lucky, you'll be able to get in. You'll hit it when it's not being renovated or drained or otherwise maintained. It requires a lot of maintenance to operate that particular pool. The water is quite chilly, about 78 degrees in the summer, and if they're open in the other parts of the year, it can cool down below 70 degrees. But on those hot summer days in Miami, 78 degrees feels pretty good for water. So my recommendation is, if you're ever in Miami, in the Miami area, visit the Venetian Pool in Coral Gables. Just reminiscing about some of the times I had there. I had a seasonal or an annual membership there at the time, and swam there just about every day. I worked out, actually, in that pool. And just sort of brings back memories on such a winter's day as this. That was then. This is now. How long ago was 1980? 37 years, something like that. Lot different kid back then than I am today. Lot different tastes. Lot different everything. But the memory remains. One of my favorite haunts when I lived in Coral Gables, Florida, 1980, 1981, or then abouts. Stan Gibilisco signing off. Until next time, so long.